At this point, we're probably up to about $20 in tips, I think. But in reality, and here's the other thing, guys, and I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again. People who actually support me understand that when you tip $1, it doesn't really help that much, because when you tip $1, PayPal takes 30 to 40 cents out of that. So every dollar tipped, I get like 60 cents. So the difference here is, oh, I want to support Phil tonight, so I'm going to, you know, tip him. I was going to do $5 tips. I'll do a $5 tip because I know they take one fee versus, oh, I'm just going to keep tipping $1 so Phil has to keep saying stupid shit on his stream. And I know he doesn't get much money, but I still get my shout out. You see what I mean? That's what annoys me one of the most, is that tonight was literally a night of most people were just here to troll, and that pisses me off. Because there's really chill streams we have. We have really fun streams to black out that haven't been like this.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Oh yes? Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, DSP. And let's see what we got here. Crying about ad revenue, because crying about ad revenue on an archive makes sense. Anyway, and let's see here. Pay me, or pay to name a Pokemon. This is from November 10th of 2019. How do we address this? First thing, crying about ad revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've said multiple times, as other people have said multiple times, as Phil has said multiple times, YouTube is merely an archive. That's it. Pure and simple. So why are we still complaining why are we complaining about ad revenue when Phil has said, he's on record for saying this actually, that the ad revenue, that is brought in makes him maybe $1, maybe less. This is his words, not mine. Now, granted, he does have multiple ad rolls on his videos as well as pre-streams. We all remember that over the whole Etika situation. So, yeah. And he also said that he could go ahead and just not upload to YouTube, the archive, and go ahead and leave it on Twitch, right? Leave it archived over there, but he wants it to make it accessible for other people, for the people on YouTube, for people who can only use YouTube, basically. So it's literally a charity case. It's literally just to give back to the people on YouTube that help bring him to where he is. So why are we complaining about ad revenue again? If you barely make anything on there anyway, and you're only doing it for the die-hard fans. Don't understand that. Now, the next part of this is, let's see, Phil has Pokemon, he has Pokemon Sword. And name a Pokemon. Or pay to name a Pokemon. I mean, I guess this is the new Minecraft scheme, basically. Yeah. That's basically, it's a nice little scam. It's a nice little scam. Will it backfire on him? Who could say? But it's a nice little scam. The biggest thing that would come out of this, a potential scam, I should say. One of the biggest things that will come out of the whole name the Pokemon situation is how will he progress in the game? Because if you're constantly going to need an influx of new Pokemon to come in, so you can have people name those Pokemon, yeah? Well, you're going to kind of impede your process because you're going to have low level Pokemons. You see what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to grind and do some of the things he needs to level up his characters or his Pokemon, I should say. And in the harder gym battles, he may need more than one. He may need more than two. You know what I'm saying? So how is he going to work that out? We'll find out in a minute. On top of that, is there going to be a limitation to what names are going to be allowed to be used, if that makes sense? You know, Phil's sensitive, So there's going to be certain things that Phil's going to consider off limits and no one can talk about because of, you know, those dirty detractors out there who make fun of me and make a living off of him. So that's going to be a thing too. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the broadcast proper, shall we? And let's see what we can make out of this. Hopefully it should be good. Hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG, Networking Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet, but I do smell something almost as enticing. And certainly something that's extremely needed. Or it's welcomed and needed before I start any broadcast, before I even start my day. And sometimes to get me through my day. And that's SnortBucks coffee. I love SnortBucks coffee. It's great. It's absolutely delicious. At the time, at current, I am still in my pumpkin spice kind of little phase and kick and whatnot. But there are a multitude of delicious flavors out there, as well as flavors that you in the audience have been naming, and so on and so forth. Hopefully, moving forward, we'll be able to actually incorporate those into like a large kind of like flavor list. Should be cool. If you haven't had a chance to go ahead and put that down, please do. And I might actually do a dedicated video just so people could go ahead and name their actual coffee itself as well as their flavors. So look out for that. And please don't mind if I ask twice. But that'll also kind of help in that. You might change your mind between now and then. And like I said, it might be featured on the broadcast. So that's always a thing. But SnortBucks coffee, ladies and gentlemen, the best part of waking up is with SnortBucks in your cup. As well as we have some advertisements coming in. One that was made by Chio18 and another one made by Aladdin. So look forward to those with the new rollout and whatnot. And, you know, and then we also have the new jingle by James the Lesser Express Lane. So for all of you guys who are fans of SnortBucks coffee, it's going to get pushed around here in full effect. So definitely look out for that. All right, guys, you guys all know the slogan, and it's time to watch me work. Ah, boy. It's been a while since we've had just some pure jazz up here for a while. Well, it's not really pure jazz, like hip-hop plus jazz. Still good, though.
Play the game!
Absolutely disgusting.
By the way, yesterday's stream did really well, meaning everything, attendance-wise, contributions and everything. That's awesome stuff. I can't wait. I'm having so much fun now, really, seriously, and I cannot wait for more. This is cool because I'm getting that positive vibe that I had for most of 2017. I'm getting it back now. Now, I'm getting that groove back, getting that vibe back. I'm ready for fun stuff. I hope you guys are ready too.
I certainly...
Well, the funny thing is, the reason why he even had a strong 2017 is because the scam that year was pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, DSP, crying about ad revenue and pay me to name a Pokemon. Now, this is also from November 10th of 2019. So first thing we should address is how attendance and contributions were great, off the charts. He's extremely happy about it. Contributions are pretty much the driving force. So even if he didn't have the attendance, as long as the contributions were high, that's all he would really care about either which way. Secondly, it's funny for an individual who talks about he has stated multiple times that he doesn't look at the viewer count. It's funny how he always tells us this, that he doesn't look at the viewer count anymore. He used to back in the day, especially when he was on YouTube, but he doesn't do that now because he's an interactive streamer and he only cares about the interaction, not not about how many people are on stream overall, continues to talk about how attendance is doing extremely well. It seems counterintuitive when he says he doesn't actually look at, you know, how many people are actually on stream. But then again, that in itself is a blatant lie, because on Phil's dashboard, the same dashboard you see him looking at literally hundreds of times during a stream, or during the day, if you will, at least 100 times, the viewer count is right there. He knows who's on, or how many people are on stream at any given time. I don't know why he tries to lie and say that he doesn't. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't even help him. You look at your attendance. You look at the stream count, no problem. I would assume it's just something people do. It's not that big of a deal. But for you to believe that you're above that is the equivalent of saying that you don't ban people for the pure pleasure of doing it, which is also would be a lie if he was to say so. He loves banning people. It's the best part of streaming for him, I think. Well, besides the money, is banning people, because the sense of power that it gives him. As fleeting as it is, there's a reason why he has 70,000 followers, and he has at current, what, 600, maybe 600 plus subs, even though the stream attendance is only like 350, 400. Just saying. Here we go.
Don't expect that today. Just being very matter of fact and honest with all of you, I feel that today is day 2. It'll slow down a little bit, okay? And that's okay. Also, a lot of people are already asking me, Phil, what's going on with the music in the game? Because there was already 2 or 3 songs that were real songs in the game with lyrics and everything. How has that affected your playthrough? Well, the truth of the matter is it has affected my playthrough in a big way.
Wah, I'm not making ad revenue. Wah.
Those videos on YouTube have been content ID claimed by the publishing companies who own the rights to the songs. That's fucked up. Because why? Because there's a song in the video. Does that mean that that company owns the video and can get full advertisement rights to it? Guess what? Parts 1 and 3 of the playthrough already have been affected. And normally, you would think, oh, this isn't an issue. Phil turns off the music in his playthroughs. I can't. There's no option in Death Stranding to turn off the music. It's either all volume or no volume. So, it's funny because yesterday,
Actually, it's funny. Didn't he say that when he purchases the game, he purchased the license? Or he at least... I mean, he didn't, but you know what I mean. He says that he owns the gaming license. So, like, anything that he does with the game is under basically fair use, and it's within his rights to do so. But yet he has to mute the songs in certain video games, and or he has to take the hit on certain playthroughs on YouTube because of copyright claims. Seems odd if he actually owns the license to the game, doesn't it? Because you would think if you own the license to the game, you would own the license to everything that's in it, music and all. You would think. I don't know.
Ahead and forwarded me a tweet from one of the composers, one of the actual people who made the music in the game. And they said, oh my god, we're so sorry, it's not our intention that this would happen. We want everyone to be able to share their gameplay experiences with Death Stranding and not have any issues with Content ID, so we're going to do what we can to clear this up. And I'm like, too little, too late. You know, this is exactly what happened with Apex Legends earlier this year. This is what happened with all these games, where these people who make the music then decide to load their music into YouTube's Content ID system. I've only said it 40 billion fucking times.
It's very salty, but it also has this like sour flavor to it. It does.
Content ID doesn't work. It's a faulty system. It never worked, and it never will, because it's completely automated, it has no humans actually reviewing anything, and a computer algorithm cannot discern between someone who just ripped your song and reposted it, you know, copy paste, bit by bit onto the internet just to spread it for free.
Whining, complaining. Okay.
Or someone who's playing a video game and your song is playing during the video game, which someone paid money to license the use of that song. It can't discern. It's a fucking stupid AI algorithm. It's dumb as shit, and it can't do that. So when you use Content ID, you are actively saying, I don't care if other people are who are innocents and already paid to use this content are hurt and get screwed over.
I just care about myself.
That's what it is. When you're using Content ID, you are saying, I only care about myself. I don't care about the fact that we know YouTube's system doesn't work.
I just want more money.
And that's the problem here. And now you got people who made the music and are so, oh, I didn't know this is how it worked. I feel so bad. We got to fix this. There's no way to fix it. Once a video is content ID claimed on YouTube, it's done. Because what happens is now, the burden is now on the content uploader to dispute that claim with the music publisher. To my knowledge, a music publisher has never released a claim. Ever. They don't give a shit. They basically say, if you don't like it, sue us. Which, of course, the common content uploader on YouTube is not going to do.
And I depend on ad revenue from YouTube to keep food on the table, to pay the bills, you know what I mean?
So, too little too late if these composers are, oh, we didn't mean for that to happen. Well, then you should have fucking taken action before the game came out. Not everyone now doing playthroughs of the game, and no one is getting credit for their early portions of the game because your copyright and music was in the game. There was no option to mute the music. And now all of our videos are now the property of fucking music publishers. Isn't that delightful? Now, the truth of the matter is, I don't care that much, because...
So, we went ahead and bitched and complained about how a copyright ID system on YouTube is faulty, and how that hurts innocent people who purchased the game, purchased the license to the game, and should be able to use it to its heart's content. But then we say we don't care. Here's the first problem that I have. When he says that, oh, the composer or the artist, whoever it is, when they upload their music to YouTube and to Content ID, they have no right to do so because innocent people are getting hurt. Well, if people stole their music, wouldn't they be getting hurt? Wouldn't they be affected by that? 2, why does he believe that people don't have a right to protect their intellectual property when he bitches and complains about how his intellectual property is infringed on or is being stolen at any given time? So it's okay for him to steal from other people, essentially, or for other people to be the victim, but he can never be a victim, and only speaks up when he's directly affected. If none of the parts of his playthrough was hit, and he only saw other people go through it on Twitter, he might make a small comment about it, but that'd probably be the end of it. Oh, fuck them. They're going to have to work it out on their own. You want a good example? I can give you one. Think about all those years he was on Machinima, and all those different videos that you can still find, where people talk about how I've just left Machinima, and this is what happened, here's my horror story, and so on and so forth. And for years, people brought that up to Phil. Oh, Phil, what do you think about this? DSP, what do you think about this person just left Machinima, and so on and so forth? Never had a goddamn thing to say about it, really. He was as quiet as a church mouse until he talked himself out of his contract. Until he went ahead and told them, if you're going to treat me like a child, I don't want to be in business with you anymore. And they were like, all right then, and they kicked him off. Then all of a sudden, he had a whole lot to say. But while he was over there, under Machinima's tit, he didn't have a, hey, I'm still good. Hey, I'm still making money. He's not making as much money as he was, but I'm still making money. I'm still paying my bills. You know what I'm saying? I still have my child slave downstairs cooking me din-din. I got nothing to worry about. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the things, it's one of the critiques that multiple people have on Phil, and he can't shake that. He's a hypocrite. It's to the highest quality, of the highest quality of hypocrite. You know what I mean? And this is no different. How are you going to sit here and say all this nonsense about how your playthroughs are getting hit and how innocent people are going through all this nonsense and so on and so forth, and the system's fucked up, and now you're going to get screwed up because of it, and then say, oh, well, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me, though. So why'd you even bring it up? Why did you even say anything about anything? You could have been like, yeah, a couple of the videos are getting hit, but it's no big deal because I'm doing it for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm archiving it on YouTube for those who cannot go to Twitch and watch my archive of it there, if not watch me live. So it's not that big of a deal. You guys have done so much for me over the years, I'd like to give back. Phil's never said that, nor would he ever say that, but just saying. Let's continue.
Like I told you guys many times, YouTube really doesn't make me that much money anymore. Like, maybe a little bit here and there, but not that much. So it's it's not a humongous concern for me. It's not like I'm losing out on ridiculous amounts of revenue or anything because 2 parts of the early part of Death Stranding are claimed by another company. It certainly sucks because any a bit of money would help. You know, any little bit of money that I can make on YouTube would certainly fucking help. But that's their fault that they don't give a fuck. You know.
Look at this aftertaste in my mouth. Ugh. That just, it's not going away. It's a lingering saltiness in my mouth. that is just not very pleasant.
It is what it is, and, you know, it sucks. If there's more copyright, or excuse me, more music with lyrics and everything, licensed music in this game, chances are we'll get content ID claimed on YouTube. So what I will say is this.
If you like the Death Stranding playthrough so far, if you're looking forward to the rest of it, if you support me and you want to see it continue, please consider contributing during a stream.
Now, this is where the hypocrisy kind of comes into play, because as Snort Burnell has said, using a situation to play victim to gain sympathy and then have people give him money through his streams. The problem is, right, is since we don't necessarily know what Phil makes on YouTube, or some people have theories, but we don't actually have at least a ballpark figure. No one needs the exact amount, but a ballpark figure. We'll never really know what he's making and what he's not. On top of that, I am still a very strong proponent on the fact that people are giving him at least decent amounts of money on stream, well, when he's not on stream. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, on his days off or when the stream goes offline. Which might explain why Phil usually lingers around on stream for about 15, 20 minutes or so. That also might explain why the pre-stream, the first one, is as long as it is with the pre-stream with the whole music being played, stuff like that, so he can go ahead and count his shekels before he starts to beg for more. Now, I don't have an exact amount that he's making, because obviously I don't know. When Tevin went ahead and told everybody, praise be, when he told us about the whole Streamlab tip leaderboard, all that kind of just went away. I mean, before we even knew what it was, or before we even had a chance to even really appreciate it, it was gone. But we did see that $1,100 that Phil had a pretty hard time acknowledging, or was reluctant to acknowledge, I should say. And who's to say that's not a reoccurring type of thing? And to be honest, I don't remember what the totals were below it, but I think it was 1,100, and then there was a couple of hundred tip. There was a couple of hundred tip donators too under that. You know what I mean? So, and that's something that, would it happen every month? Probably not. But if it wouldn't be too far off of the mark, if you have, let's be generous, let's say 10 people who aren't regularly known to the Detractor community, right? Who give, you know, a couple of $100 a week or so, or even a month, and tip to him anonymously, and you don't see it pop up on stream because Phil doesn't acknowledge it, because it didn't actually happen on stream. Under those circumstances, I mean, him bitching about YouTube is just yet again him being greedy. It's him being extremely greedy and extremely selfish. The irony, though, is the fact that he's sitting here accusing these people who put all this time and effort into writing the music, performing it, the composing of it, so on and so forth, and has the nerve to demonize them for protecting their intellectual property just because Phil paid $60 to use it. That's kind of shitty. But that is the Burnell way, ladies and gentlemen.
Even if you're watching this pre-stream on YouTube, because I know many of you watch my content only on YouTube. A lot of people watch these pre-streams on YouTube, and a lot of people watch the playthroughs on YouTube. If you're going to be watching Death Stranding, please consider contributing either via by tipping me or whatever during a stream, because the chances are...
Now, I don't know why he just said that. For those of you on YouTube who are watching this, you should consider tipping him on stream or contributing to him on stream. But did you not just say, or has he not said in the future, or in the past, I should say, that those who watch me on YouTube usually can't go to his streams because, you know, they got lives. Or they don't have the quote-unquote bandwidth to withstand it. So they can't really... So there's no point for them to go to Twitch. So if you want them to support you on YouTube, and ad revenue is apparently in the dumps, because it has been since like 2017, why not tell them or ask them to please support you on through Patreon, which your YouTube has been linked to that since the beginning anyway, despite the fact that you probably haven't updated it in months, if not longer. But why not ask them to go ahead and do that? Unless they've already done that, or they're already doing that, and you want to try to bleed them for even more money by donating to you through Twitch, more than likely through Streamlabs. despite the fact that his Mugsy link is still open too, from what I've been told. So the people that are that's already supporting you on YouTube through PayPal, you want them to come to Twitch and give you even more money, even though they're already trying to help you through PayPal, or not PayPal, through Patreon, and he's collecting what, $400, probably less now, but $400. I mean, I'm just saying, can we be a little bit more appreciative of people on Patreon, especially since he doesn't even shout them out anymore? The few people that are there, but somebody or some buddies have still keep him in mind each and every month if they still make sure monies is still being, you know, sent to him every month, even if it is just a reoccurring charge. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit more appreciative. I don't know. Let's continue.
Making any money on the videos on YouTube at all. All right, just saying, because the way that they set this up, this whole system is a broken piece of shit, and it's pretty messed up. So as you, the YouTube viewers, there's two things you can do to help. Number one, check out the actual stream at my Twitch channel. Come by, say hello, and contribute. Only tipping that's going to help. Now, if you absolutely cannot make it to the stream, you can still leave a tip. You can still do it. If you watch my videos all the time here on YouTube, and you appreciate the fact that despite the fact that YouTube makes me almost no money whatsoever to upload the videos here, I really do it as fan service for you guys who've been longtime viewers of mine and love watching my stuff. A lot of you even say you can't watch the live streams for whatever reason, but you can watch the on-demand videos on YouTube. Great. Please, if at all you can, please be supportive and leave a tip. You, the YouTube viewers, people who only exclusively watch on YouTube, I really need your support. This is it. This is the most important stream coming up I've ever done because I need to raise these.
And with that being said, and just this year alone, so I want you guys to keep this in mind. How many videos did he make for the YouTube audience to say, hey, I need you guys to step up and really support me? Because if not, I'm going to have to pull my videos off YouTube if you don't, because I'm barely making any money. But these are the people who are the foundation. These are the people who brought him to where he was. They got him out of debt. In a lot of ways, you could say they saved his life, because he said that his life didn't have a whole lot of meaning. And this was the first time he actually gained some recognition, and he had people who he felt actually cared about him and what he did. And they're the ones who ended up getting him that nice condo. Well, it's not that nice now, but they ended up getting him his condo, which is basically his freedom from his parents. Not independence, freedom. There's a difference between the two. They were able to help him to get the condo from his parents, or to get the condo to gain his freedom from his parents, I should say. And then eventually just pick up and leave Connecticut altogether to come to Seattle with his girlfriend, and then end up plucking another girlfriend from some other dude and moving her over and making her his soulmate, then wife. So YouTube, you would think, to some degree, has done more than enough. More than enough. So why do we have to go back and bleed them out? Especially when the moment he relegated YouTube to an archive channel, he basically said, fuck you guys that are still on YouTube who watch me. Don't expect any extra effort from me. You should be so glad I'm even putting my archives here. And that's it. Why should they have to go ahead and continue to bear the burden? Why do they have to continue to be the beaten workhorses and continue to pull the wagon? I mean, if it's all about interactive streaming, then shouldn't Twitch be picking that shit up? Just saying. Just putting that out there. But, you know, what are you going to do?
These funds, and if I don't, I'm done. I'm probably going to have to sell my house and have a horrible year where there's going to be all kinds of less streaming because I have to move and figure stuff out. It's
more of that fear-mongering about, oh, I'm going to have to move and I could lose my marriage and
not going to be good, okay? It's going to be very stressful.
And then he's going to have to declaw Jasper's back claws because, you know, you got to make sure he keeps the furniture pristine. Just literally piling it on.
Negative thing that honestly, you know, do I deserve it? No. I worked my butt off, and it just sucks that so many things have happened in the past few years to screw me over and make me not able to afford my taxes at this point.
You mean overspending, not saving any of your money, not planning for the future as a whole, not taking advantage of sponsorships or endorsements when you had the opportunity, shitting on everybody who ended up doing so, calling them shills, having them go ahead and look at you like the village idiot, which only made you more of a laughingstock. What else, Phil? And that's just a few examples on top of many. So it wasn't just a couple of mistakes that he made. He made a bunch of mistakes over years. Darkside Phil was never popular. Sorry. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. He was never popular. He was just a loudmouth in a very, very small fucking pool. And once that pool started to get bigger, and once people with some real talent and was willing to take some real risks end up coming in and started taking the game over, he started to decline. That's way before Detractors and everything. Because you got to remember, early Detractors, at least some of them, were actually fans who was asking him, hey, this guy is doing this, this person's doing that. You need to consider doing this if you want to keep up. And he didn't want to do it because the money was easy. He had his little 5-hour video game work day. He had his hour, probably, hour and a half on YouTube babysitting videos, and then it was drinking and getting in, you know, inducing gout for the rest of the day. And going on all of his different trips and doing this, that, and the third. So trust me, he made more than a bunch of mistakes, and his decline was before the Detractors even really formed and started going at his neck. I'm just getting really tired of hearing that. That, oh, it's the Detractors' fault that I can't live the way I live, or that I want to live. And it's because of them I'm not making the money that I used to make when he was in a decline beforehand. Before he started streaming the first time and moved to direct capture, he was in a decline. Because other people's quality of content, right, was already moving up. And direct capture at that time was starting to become the standard. And he didn't want to do it because he thought it was a unique fucking snowflake. And he didn't feel like he had to do that. I've always been doing the fucking little camera thing on my desk. You guys liked me when you guys found me like this, so you need to accept it. It's kind of like a hoe. It's not really a hoe, but it's kind of like that wild chick that you meet at the club. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't necessarily want to not contort, because she probably contorts quite a bit in bed. She doesn't really want to change after you've met her, right? And it could be really anybody. It doesn't have to be just her. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Oh, well, this is how I was when we started dating. Now, why do I have to change? It's kind of like that. The problem is he had more gambling on this than anybody else. That's what it really came down to. And that's what ended up really screwing him in the end. And all that advice that was given to him, he brushed it off. He called them idiots. He said he was the one on YouTube with the large fan base and making all the money. What the fuck do you guys know? And now look at him. See this stupid little face right here? You see that right there? That's what the result is. That's the result of an idiot who had multiple years and multiple chances to fix his shit. And multiple people who were willing to wait for him to make those changes. And he didn't want to do it because he felt like he was better than those people. And if those people want to leave, fuck them. I'll just wait. I'll go ahead and just grab some more people out of the next batch that comes in. And in some of those old videos, he says that, hey, if you don't like my content, fuck you, leave. Now all of a sudden he don't say that too much no more. He used to say that in 2018 too. He hasn't said too much of that in 2019. He ain't feeling. He realizes that those people actually left. And the new blood isn't exactly coming in as quickly as it used to. There might be a blood clot somewhere. Just saying. So this whole nonsense, this whole narrative he's been painting for years, I'm getting tired of that shit. And that shit needs to stop. DSP News.
Point that I need your help.
Okay, so there you go, okay? Alright. Now, outside of that, we are doing some pretty good progress here towards our monthly goal of subs. If you guys take a look, we're at 606 subscribers this morning, and we only need to hit 625 concurrent subscribers to hit the monthly goal for this month.
In particular, right now, tipping is the best way to help me out. I really need the help because I'm still waiting. It's going to be about a week until I get paid by Twitch. That's your fault. That's your fault. You created that business model. You created a flawed business model, and now you're saying there's nothing you could do about it? No, it's your business. Yet everything's always my fault. You're right.
Wicked Man 36.
And that's another crazy thing too. So we get paid now. If you guys remember originally, because this is before he really told people when he gets paid and all this, it used to be, hey guys, I don't get paid till the middle of the month. Can you guys please help me? It was on the 1st, which he still does it. It's part of the DSP cycle. It's on the 1st. Please help me out just to get me to the 15th, right? You know, just help me kind of knock out these last minute bills that I didn't have enough money to pay for last month, or I didn't have enough to cover. And once I get to the 15th, I'll be good. And then it started to turn into, okay, the 15th has passed, guys, but I was behind from the month before. Plus, excuse me, I have all these overdrafts and everything to worry about. So I need you guys. I just need a little bit more help from you guys to get me towards the end of the month. Now it's turning to, okay, guys, I'm literally 2 weeks out until I get paid. I really need you guys to support me. 2 weeks turned into 10 days. 10 days turned into a week. He pretty much begs now. I mean, granted, he does beg every day, but now he begs up until literally the 12th hour. Literally until, hey guys, I get paid tomorrow, but they're going to send me the money. I'm going to get paid tomorrow, but it won't clear for like 2 more days probably. So I really need you guys' support. You know, even though I'm getting paid tomorrow, it doesn't mean it'll necessarily clear tomorrow. We start getting into little nuances like that. That's kind of where the game is starting to become, which many people told you that. I told you that he was going to be, it was going to literally be a 30-day or however many days in the month, depending on the month, 24-hour begathon. The fact that he doesn't really talk about when Patreon pays him, and he doesn't talk about when YouTube pays him, and he only puts the emphasis and or focus on Twitch because that's where he's at, should tell you guys that. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, that behind the scenes donations that he still, trust me, he still receives. You know what I mean? Or the ones that he doesn't give credit to before he comes on stream is still a point of conversation that needs to be remembered. It doesn't necessarily need to be harped upon. You have people like me to do that. But it's something that you have to remember. Well, not remember, just, you know, just keep a thought out for it. Because that's not going to change. It's not going to change. So in actuality, when we say that Phil makes 6 figures a year, he's probably making, he might very well be making close to, instead of 100,000 or almost 100,000, he might be exceeding that. He could very well be making an extra, I'd say anywhere between $25,000 to another $35,000 a year in phantom donations that we don't know about. And that varies from month to month, obviously. Obviously. So that's something that we should also consider. Now, keep in mind that's just an estimate. But if someone was dropping $1,100 behind the scenes just like that, and I don't think that was Project Planet Jeff, I think that was another whale, but it could be. Who knows what other money is being dropped off. And it doesn't even have to be in the thousands, ladies and gentlemen. A couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. That stuff adds up. DSP News.
Just listen to this one. This stuff constantly confuses me. You ready for this one? Say, tip me $1. Then they say this. You've been busted on camera multiple times admitting you're toxic. Your own words doomed you. When will the excuses end? So you actually think that on camera, I said, man, I'm such a toxic person and everything that I do is terrible and blah, blah, blah. What the hell are you talking about? No. Stupid. The meme comes from me playing Dark Souls and getting poisoned by one of those stupid blow darts, and I say, why am I toxic? And then people kind of twisted that to be something different. So I don't even understand what you're getting at here, quite frankly. And thanks for the $1. You make no sense. Congrats.
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic. BB tipped me $1 and says, I want to be your bridge baby. I want to be connected to you forever. That's incredibly creepy and could probably be viewed as stalkerish mentality. But thank you for the $1 tip.
Obvious joke, but immediately lets his paranoia come out. Smart move, Phil. Smart move.
What the hell?
Okay, Gerard Crow tipped me $1. So do you think it's really the best idea?
Especially since he talks about stalkerish type behavior, yeah? But this is the same guy who laid in wait for Pro Jared for like 3 to 5 years. Off of a tweet. Off of a tweet. And he laid in wait for 3, like I said, 3 years, I argue 5, but 3 years to get him back. Just throwing that out there, guys. I'm just saying. Just putting that out there. So that's a long time for the Gouty Viper to lay in wait. It really was.
Viewers pay to name your Pokemon in Sword and Shield. I'm not making anyone do anything. It's called a reward, sir.
I did not prepare my squirtable ingredients. And they launched all over the place on me, so...
Wait, how is it a reward to give him money to name something? It's a transaction, not a reward. Think about it for a second. He's put up the framework that, hey, would you guys like to name one of my Pokemon in my party? Pay me, and you can do so. That's a transaction, not a reward. The fuck is he talking about?
Spread a little bit of that ketchup over the cheese.
And even if he tried to say, oh, it's because the person who has the largest contributions at the end of the night is the one who's going to reserve the right to do so, either which way, he or she paid to do that. At the end of the day, they threw money in to obtain something. It's almost, I mean, one could say it's a form of gambling. Because if you think about it, it's almost like a loot box. It's like a Gouty loot box. You're throwing a large amount of money into it with the chance to possibly win something, but you're still throwing money into it. You're not guaranteed to really get anything back unless you're the highest contributor, if you think about it. Now, if he's going to try to use that situation or circumstance, if you will, to try to say it's a reward, then it's not even really a reward, it's gambling. So which one is it? Either it's a transaction, it is a paid transaction that people are giving you money to purchase, to be able to name a virtual item that doesn't mean shit. That's basically what it is. Or it's a form of gambling. Something to think about.
Just like we do in Minecraft, for people who contribute when I play Minecraft.
And Minecraft is the exact same shit. People have been saying that. So,
The biggest contributor of the day gets to choose a project that I'll work on next in the game. And we've had so many different things, whether it's just making like a giant tombstone with an epitaph, or putting a quote at the top of my lighthouse, building a giant statue of my cat Jasper, building a garage, building a bar on a pond. Like, we've done all these various things that have been really fun to do. And it adds an element of creativity to the game because people are getting their mark on my game world, which is really nice. It's a cool interactive way to interact with your streamers. By the way, what I find hilarious...
Actually, arguably so. There should be more monuments to some of those paid piggies, because there's been a couple of times where a paid piggy won and they never came to actually claim what was theirs. And he may talk about it, you know, right before the next stream, but if that person doesn't show up, or if that person still doesn't email him, Phil walks away with the cash. To be honest, he should have him, if not the mods, should have kept a small list, because I know there has to be at least 2 people on that list. The next time they show up on stream, someone should be actively looking out and saying, hey, like at X amount of weeks ago, you paid to go ahead and have something done. Would you like that done? Instead of letting Phil walk away with the cash. Just saying. If not, we're starting to look at Project 7 all over again.
Is that people are like angry that I'm doing this. You do realize this has been a tried and true way that streamers get interactivity with their own viewers for like a decade, right? Like, since the dawn of streaming, this has been one of the things that streamers do. I only adopted it because people said, are you aware people do this? And it works and people really like it. So I started doing it, and lo and behold, people told me they really like it. So that's why I started doing it more, okay? So in the case of Pokemon, what I've said is, well, let's do a fun thing where the top contributor of every Pokemon stream coming up will get to...
Didn't people tell you the exact same thing when it comes to Minecraft, that it's a good game, Phil, and you should really play it, and you can actually, you know, you can have interactivity with that? Not necessarily contributions at the time, but you can have interactivity with it, and Phil had no interest in wanting to play it, said it was a kiddie game, said it was stupid, so on and so forth. Then all of a sudden he figures out a way, or he finds out that you can allegedly milk your audience to build shit for money, and then all of a sudden it's a good idea. Well, that's not selfish at all.
Name one of the new Pokemon, right? So let's say the first stream, we play for 4 hours. The top contributor of that day will be able to then name my starter Pokemon. I believe you can rename your Pokemon at a Pokemon Center or whatever. I don't know. I didn't play this one yet. But yeah, what I'll do is and then every stream going forward, whatever, if I get a new Pokemon on that stream, the top contributor will get to name that new Pokemon. See? That's neat. That's a cool interactive thing. That's a way to interact with my viewing audience. By the end of the playthrough, we'll have a ton of Pokemon that are named from viewers. That'll be fun, right? So I seriously don't see how this is a negative.
It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control.
Like Gerard Crow, how can you spin something that's a positive as a negative? This is a cool way. A cool way to interact. How can you say that's so dumb? Right? And again, this...
Because why do you have to pay money to interact? That's the first initial problem. Secondly, the benefit's really for you, not them. They're paying money so you can... They're paying money so you can essentially talk to them as if that's even worth it. And in actuality, not only do you catch the money at the end of the night, but you're also going to monetize the video on YouTube later. You know, the archive. All of the benefit is really on you. The only negative, and this is in his mind, not anybody else's, is the fact that it kind of requires him to actually do something. But even then, he's going to be handheld through it anyway. So who cares? At the end of the day, he gets his little interactive stream to make it seem like he's actually a gamer and he's not. And even the new people who come by, if they ever do really show up, can see through the bullshit. He gets his short-term money. He gets his even shorter YouTube money, and everything's right with the world. Until the dawn of the next Snort. And then we beg for money all over again.
This isn't some practice that I invented. This isn't some scheme that I came up with. This is how everyone spends it. Phil's got a new scheme today. No. This is something that people have been doing for a million fucking years. That's really dumb. And I'm sorry, but you're completely off base and you're wrong. And I'm seriously not gonna put up with false criticism, because it's not valid criticism. People gave me the idea based on other streamers doing it. I start doing it. Now I'm a villain. Go fuck yourself. Okay, let's continue on.
You think I'm the villain? Go fuck yourself. He almost got me toxic. He almost got me toxic.
Gamer Nick Cole, tipped $1, says some trolls claim that you kidnapped Jasper. Can you disprove them? Sure. I have all the adoption papers. The problem is, I know what would happen. If I show you the adoption papers, what would happen is people would call the adoption center and false report, say, are you aware that the guy who adopted Jasper is doing this to Jasper and that to Jasper? And I'm not going to put up with the trolling shit. I'm just not. You know, I'm not going to put up with their fucking horse shit. And that's the truth of the matter, is that's why they're saying this, because they want me to try to show documentation, so then they can now harass the center and they can do more shit to me. I'm not...
First off, the fear-mongering is great. Really, it's just as Snort Burnell said. It's really all about finding out if Jasper was really declawed before he got to the shelter or not. That's really what it comes down to. Because if the papers say that such and such cat of such and such age was adopted on such and such date and still had all of its claws, Phil's screwed on a couple different fronts. One, when did they actually adopt Jasper? Two, as a by proxy to that, is how long have they actually had Jasper? First thing. Second thing is, did Jasper have claws when he showed up at that center or not? Because if he did, and then all of a sudden he gets to the Burnell house and he didn't, then there's even more problems. Which, to be honest, we all assume that he's lying about that anyway. So yet again, that doesn't even really matter. It just confirms it. But to be honest, we all assume that's what Phil did anyway. Because Phil's a shithead. He's an asshole. He cares about nobody and nothing. Nobody and no one but himself. Or, well, nothing and no one, I should say. But himself. So it's never going to be out of the question that he had Jasper declawed. He'll never be able to fight that off. ever. So that's really what it kind of comes down to. No one needs to harass the center on that. To be honest, if not to give anybody ideas, you take a list. You make a list of the number of shelters that are in the surrounding area. I think there's, last person I spoke to on it, I think they said it was like 3, maybe 4. You call each one of them up and you ask if you can go ahead, if you can ask some questions about a particular adoption that has happened in such and such months. Usually, if you approach the situation in a very calm, cool, and collect manner and not come across over anxious, there's always someone who you might catch off guard and will give you the information. Now, obviously, they're not going to give you the address or any of those things, but they may give you a name and they may give you at least an adoption date. Who can say what comes after that? And that's if you even really want to go there. At the end of the day, we know Phil's lying. We just don't know the extent. Eventually, we'll all find out because, as the motto over here is, you give the pig enough rope and he'll hang himself. So, in due time, eventually we'll find out. All will be revealed eventually.
Stupid. I haven't just been born yesterday. I know exactly what fucking happens here. So, no. It's stupid as shit. No one with an intelligent brain in their head gives a fuck. I didn't kidnap my fucking cat, you stupid idiots. I adopted it. Just like I said, I rescued it from a shelter. And Jasper has a really nice life here with us. He's well taken care of. And if you don't like it, tough titties. Timbo Slice cheered. He says Disney Plus launches this Tuesday.
You rescued a cat from a rescue center? Or a rescue shelter? Okay.
For $6.99 or $12.99 with a Hulu bundle, will you be paying for service people say it could be a contender to take over for best streaming service to great value with all on it, like Avengers and Star Wars? Here's the thing, Timbo. I couldn't get it if I wanted to. Because in all of my luck, right, because I'm the luckiest guy on the planet, guess what device I own for streaming on my TV? An Amazon Fire TV stick. Why did I get that? Because it was cheap on Amazon, and it had all the apps at the time that I wanted. Like, it had Netflix, it had WWE Network, it had all the things that I wanted. So I bought it on the cheap off of Amazon. That's what I use to stream content on my TV. Guess what's the one fucking streaming device that doesn't work with Disney Plus? Timbo Slice Charity says deal was reached yesterday with Amazon and Disney, and now it's going to be on there. All right, well then if that's the case, I'll probably give it a shot and see what it's all about. I can't afford another expensive service. I'll be very honest with you. I might get rid of Netflix. I haven't been using Netflix at all recently.
Does Catherine use it? And if so, I mean, couldn't you just ask her to take over the payments on it? What's it, like $8 a month? Oh, it's so good.
The WWE Network, which I watch a lot. I watch wrestling. As you guys know, I watch the shows, like I said, a good amount every week. But I haven't been watching Netflix much at all. So I might actually just dump Netflix and get Disney Plus.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is great. Someone named.
So we're just gonna hop from one service to another, basically. And it's funny too because he tells us that he has so little time in the day to watch anything. WWE is not going anywhere because we're holding out for John, but we're gonna get rid of Netflix. So we're gonna limit ourselves even more. It's not like he does anything else or he immerses himself into anything else throughout the day or throughout his week or even his month. So we're going to get rid of Netflix so we can watch Disney cartoons from like 20 years ago? Okay, sure.
Medicine tipped me $1 saying, I've suffered a stroke. One entire side of my face is drooping off my face, and I should seek medical attention immediately. What do you guys think? Here, hold on.
I mean, Phil could say that's from the tragic burns that he got in that life-changing car accident. But, I mean, his face has always been that way, though. I mean, one side of his body, I should say, is like that. I wouldn't say it's a stroke, though. It's not like what Jim Ross has or anything, but it's certainly not very good. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, he lives a very... He lives a very minimalistic lifestyle, guys. You wouldn't want him to go to the gym or anything, right? You guys wouldn't want him to get in shape or anything, you know, to save his own life. Who would want that? That'd be stupid.
Here you go. Is my face drooping? Do I need medical attention?
Jesus Christ. That's 37, ladies and gentlemen. That's 37. Oh, shit. That's 37. And he's big mad about this, too. Oh, my God. That'd make a great screenshot, though. Well, look at that. That's the face of success, ladies and gentlemen. of a happy individual who has his wife, who has his cat, who has this amazing dream job of playing video games, sharing his experiences, and begging for money every day, or 6 days a week at least. This is the American dream, ladies and gentlemen. 37 years old with, oh, I don't know, I think the speculation is $150,000 to $200,000 in debt, if not more. That's the American dream. This is first. This is first world Providence at its best. So take it all in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Goutopian dream. Oh, so good, so good.
What do you guys think? Do I need some help?
You know what's funny? If you guys have ever seen any interviews with like you know, like famous serial killers and shit like that, they kind of have that crazy look in their eye too. You know how we always make fun of the blackest eyes, the darkest eyes and shit? If Phil had any gull, he could very well be a serial killer. But if you think about it, he kind of is. He just kills on a different landscape, on a different plane. Like, his victims are more digital than actually physical. If you think about it. If you think about the people that Phil Burnell has been in contact with and how he's affected most of them. Yes, granted, he never drove any of them to kill themselves or anything. But he's had a long-lasting effect on those people that no one, at least in a virtual sense, should have on anybody. Especially since some of these people were actually his friends in real life. In IRL. It's kind of crazy. Imagine being such a negative individual that your negativity can affect other people and could potentially screw them up too. Wow. Wow.
Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone.
Oh boy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and do some cleanup here. I will be back in literally just a second. Alright, thank you to Snort Burnell for that, as always. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up. What do we have here? So, crying about ad revenue, mainly with Death Stranded. I mean, let the little piggy cry about it. He says there's an archive. He says he doesn't make much money off of it anyway. He doesn't say, or he didn't say, I should say, that he's speaking up for other content creators. It sounds like it was all about him because he's all he cares about. He's using other people's plight and other people's concerns to benefit himself. For all we know, none of those videos actually got struck. Phil's a special type of individual. So it's not above reasoning to think that nothing actually got hit, and he's just saying that to kind of throw himself in because he saw a bunch of other people on Twitter talk about it. But it's neither here nor there, and even if he did get hit, it doesn't matter because it's an archive channel. Either which way, he doesn't have too much to bitch about. He really shouldn't. And that's all by his own volition. Nobody else. Let's see here. The whole situation with Pokemon. Nice little scheme. We'll see how it plays out, to be honest. We'll see how long it lasts. Because it's not like that whole Minecraft thing has been the most smoothest transition. A lot of those people are smart. And they don't throw any big money at him. So it's not like he's making, you know, hundreds if not thousands of dollars to have people name stuff in Minecraft. It's, you know, they're kind of sweating him out. I would assume that Pokemon will be the exact same way unless it's something that you really, really want. And if nothing else, I think you'll start to see people, kind of like with Minecraft, if someone comes up with an idea, or if it's just someone who's kind of been around for a little while, or someone who's just well-liked, if they end up contributing the largest amount, then I think most people will just let it ride out that night and make sure that individual wins. You know what I'm saying? And let Phil sweat it up And so if Phil every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes has to say, hey guys, such and such is still on top of the leaderboard, but if you guys want to dethrone him and name something, you guys still can. He can go ahead and try to pit them against each other all he wants. But I think as time has gone on, and I think as we move forward, I think you're going to have more and more people who aren't going to be willing to screw each other over, who are not going to be getting into these fruitless tip wars just to name a virtual item that doesn't mean shit anyway, to be honest. And then Phil's going to have to become more creative, or he's going to have to bend the rules a little bit, and Phil's not above that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in, and I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you guys for the next broadcast, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG Networking Productions for the Snort Report and for SnortBucks Coffee. I am your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. I feel like I have a cold coming on here. The broadcast. That's what I get for running around with my friend who's a duck all day and shit. Catch a cold. It's crazy. Snort.